Hello folks, are you all doing good? So in this video, we will be discussing about loops in Rust. And if you're following the Rust book, this will again be in the fifth section of the third chapter, the second part you can say. And here you can read about loops in Rust. And I hope this will be very simple stuff since you are all programmers. And you can also read my blogs about loops in Rust. Not blogs, I mean only one blog, like how much can I write about loops. And we will be discussing something similar today, and I will be linking both of this in the description below. So let's get back to our VS Code and let's get into some loops. So this is how we can write one simple loop in Rust. So I will use a keyword loop and inside curly braces, I will keep my print statement. Let me also change the text to something that resembles the situation. So I will write hello from loop. Now if I do a cargo run, we can see that we are inside one infinite loop. So let's get the hell out of here. And we have exited the loop. So what we need is an exit statement. That's for sure. So what we can do is we can declare some variable of the type i32 equals to 5. And let's say inside our loop, I am printing hello from loop and I'm also increasing the value of x by 1. And whenever x equals to 10, I want to basically break out of the loop. So now if I do the cargo run, you can see that it doesn't know what the statement is. So let me for now simply write x equals to x plus 1. Now if I do a cargo run once again, and as you can see, it doesn't even understand what is this statement, and that is because we are trying to increment one immutable variable. So we have to write let mutx, something we learned in the second video. So now if we can write x plus equals to 1, that will also work because generally it works. Now, if I do a cargo run, you can see that we are getting hello from loop 5 times, and that is because the value of x is also increasing. Hello from loop, and let me also print out the value of x. So basically, actually not like this, we will do x minus 5. Now, if I do a cargo run, you can see hello from loop 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we can basically break out of this loop, and this is how basically simple loops work in Rust. And now let's see how more complex loops work. So I will comment out everything, and now I will create one nested loop. So let me once again declare let mutx equals to 0. And now what we want to do is we will have an outer loop and then inside we will have an inner loop. And I will write it like this, outer loop colon loop. And now I will write whatever we want inside our loop. And first of all, we want to print out x. So println, and let's print out x as we do. And let me also write x equals to x so that we don't have any confusion. And then, as usual, we will be doing x plus equals to 1 because we also need to exit the loop. And let's say when x equals to 10, we will break out of the loop. That's fine, but this is only one loop. So now let's write another loop inside this. So loop, and here, let's say I want to print another variable y. So we have to declare y also. And let's declare y inside this loop. So let muty equals to, let's give the value of y as 10 for now. And inside this loop, what we will do is we will print out the value of y. So println, we will do y, like however we do y. And then we will again be, let's say, decrementing the value of y by 1. And then we want to break out of the inner loops. So now I will write that if y equals to 5, please break out of this loop. And otherwise, if y equals to 7, you will directly break out of the outer loop. So now how can I break out of the outer loop? We will simply write it like this, break outer loop. That's all. So now if you think about it, we have y equals to 10. So the value of y will be decrementing by 1 and it will come to 7 and it will be directly breaking out of the outer loop. And while we have x equals to 1, it will also be incrementing its value. And in case we are initializing the value of y, let's say from 6, then it will not be breaking out of the outer loop. Like let's run and see. Let's not try to speculate anything. So let me do cargo run. And as you can see, we have lots of issues. And the issues, let's try to find. And yeah, let mut x equals to 0. Here should be one semicolon. the biggest issue of all. And as you can see, we have x equals to 0, then 10, 9, and 8. And generally, we are not writing y equals to y, so we have some confusion. So now let me run again. And we have x equals to 0, and then we have y 10, 9, and 8. Let me initialize the y to 6, and let's see if something works or not. And as you can see, we have lots of values. So why so many values are coming or not coming, you can analyze. But as you can see, basically, this is how we can break out of outer loops also. So this is one complex loop, you can say, after checking out one simple loop. So generally, we will not be using these things too much. Rather, what we will be doing is using while loops and for loops. So let's try to learn about it now. So while loops are basically very simple stuff from other programming languages also. So I will simply write mutx equals to 0, let's say, and I will give one condition. Let's say when x is not equals to 10, in those cases, you will print something. Let's say println hello from while loop and then the value of x. So let me just print out x over here. And we have to also increment x. So x plus equals to 1. And whenever the value of x becomes 10, it will break out of the loop. So let me run and see what we get. So we have hello from while loop from 1 to 9. I mean from 0 to 9. And this is correct, and this is basically how while loops work. Now let's try to understand how for loops work. And we already know, I mean, we only need to see the syntax for us. So what we will do for loops is we will write something like this for, let's say, number in 1 dot dot 10. That means from 1 to 10. Let me simply print out the number. So print out num. That's all. I mean, there are lots of syntax issues. Let me write num equals to num and comma. Now let me also comment out the while loop because I don't want too many print statements, and also this mutx equals to 0. Relics of the old loops. And if I do a cargo run, you can see num from 1 to 9. And this is how basically our for loops work. Now loops can also be used for arrays, especially for loops. So let me write something out over here. Let me create one nums array. And this nums array will contain some numbers. Let's say 1, 3, 5, 4, 6. And now what we will do is write for num in nums. We want to basically print out stuff. So println num equals to and comma num. That's it. And let me just print out the above stuff because again, I don't want too many print statements. So let me do cargo run. And as you can see, we have num from 1 to 6. I mean, basically this whole nums array. So this is how we can use for loops inside collections or arrays or stuff also. And the last thing that we need to know about loops is how to return one value from a loop. So once again, I will comment out everything. And here, let me create another variable. I will name it res or result or whatever. And it equals to one loop. And let me also bring it back. And what do we want to be doing inside the loop? So let's say I have once again another variable called x. So mutx, of course, because we want to change x equals to 0. And inside, I want to increment x by 1 as some kind of exit condition. And if let's say we have x equals to 10, we want to break out of the loop, but we want to break out with one return value. So what we can do is break with x plus 10. So we know that when we will be breaking out of the loop, the value of x will be 10. But now let's see if we have 20 stored in the raise variable or not outside the loop. So here, let me simply print out our raise. So let me write raise equals to and then print out raise. And we should also close the loop with a like semicolon because it's stored inside one variable. Now let me do work on one cargo run, and as we can see, we have raise equals to 20. Instead of plus 10, if I do, let's say minus 10, do we get 0? And we have 0. We can do 1 multiplied by 10. And as you can see, it works basically. So whatever is the exit value, we are multiplying it by 10 or doing some operation. and storing that final value inside our result variable, which is storing this whole loop. So this is also another way we can use loops in Rust, and I believe that's all we need to know about loops for now. That's all for this video. If you have found this video interesting, make sure to smash that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. And I will see you next time with another Rusty video.